How's it going? I'm just checking things out here before we get started, making sure I am indeed live. I don't want what happened last night to happen again tonight. And sorry, my camera is right in the. What did I say here? I am okay. Cool. Exactly what I wanted. Exactly what I wanted to have happen here. Okay, cool. So, welcome. Uh, like I said, I'm trying to do this again for the first time since we went live. I did go live last night, but did not go as planned, obviously, because no one saw that I went live. So, basically, the field of 24 in the NJCAA tournament is going to be down to the field of 8 by tonight's end. Let me turn on this light here. And I have all the games in between the last time that a live was public on the page and now. So, with that being said, I'm going to stay in here for a couple more minutes, just kind of see who all joins. And the biggest thing here is that I will have chat open, but I will not be looking at chat directly unless I do something like no, I'm not going to do that because that will still pop up when I go to the breakdown screen. So if you have chat, I will read it at the end if I do have people coming in here. That being said, welcome to day 4 of the NJCAA tournament, and this one is interesting as like I said, the field of 24 by the end of tonight is going to be down to the field of 8. So over half the teams have gone home, and we actually have a couple of major things have happened since the round of 24. With all that being said, let's go ahead and get right to it. So from here on out, chat will be muted, and I will get back to you guys as soon as I am done. Let me just make sure that this is the right button. It is. Okay, cool. Now chat is muted. As you see, the bracket is filled out here. Let's go ahead and see how we got to that, starting with the game that led into tonight's matchup, Northwest Florida State against Bishop State. It was a 6-point game at the break where Bishop State was in it for a little bit. Northwest Florida State was able to pull away. Bishop State came back late in that game to make it an 8-point defeat for Bishop State. So Northwest Florida State is going to be playing here in about, half an hour. If you're watching live with me, let's go ahead and talk about this game. Northwest Florida State shot 32 of 72 from the field, while Bishop State was 26 of 53, good for almost 50% from the field. Northwest Florida State was 44% from the field. Bishop State was 5 of 16 from behind the arc. Northwest Florida State was 6 of 21. Neither team could really get the shot going behind the arc in the first half, especially. Free throw wise, Bishop State was 18 of 29 compared to 13 of 20 for the Raiders of Northwest Florida State. Assist to turnovers, Northwest Florida State had 14 to 10. They forced 18 turnovers of Bishop State, and they only gave up 9 assists. They also capitalized on those 18 turnovers with 18 points as well, and 18 second chance points while dominating in the paint, 46 to 34. Fast break points favored Bishop State, while the bench favored Northwest Florida. We only had one tie, 2 lead changes in this game. Let's go ahead and see individual stats. And we'll go here. For Bishop State, they had only 3 players in double figures, all of them being stars. Tishem Gary was 9 of 14 shooting from the field, grabbed 4 rebounds and a steal. He finished with 21 points. Vopsy Prophet was 4 of 5 shooting from the field, 3 of 4 from behind the arc, 5 of 8 from the free throw line, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, and 16 points. Patrick Elijahwan was 3 of 5 shooting from the field, 4 of 6 from the free throw line, had 5 of his 8 rebounds being on the defensive end, had 3 assists, 2 steals, and he finished with 10 points. Tremello Carter came off the bench almost in double figures, 4 of 9 shooting from the field, 1 of 4 from behind the arc. He finished, like I said, with 9. He also had 4 rebounds and 2 assists. For Northwest Florida State, they were led by Braylon Roman, who was 11 of 17 shooting from the field, 2 of 3 from behind the arc, and 2 of 4 from the foul line. He had 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals. He finished with 26. Justin Burns finished 4 of 6 shooting from the field, good for 10 points. He had 16 rebounds, 10 of them being on the defensive glass, 2 assists and 2 steals with a blocked shot as well. And Jonas Nichols was 5 of 13 shooting from the field, 2 of 6 from behind the arc, and finished with 12 with 5 rebounds, an assist, and a steal. Off the bench for the Raiders, nobody in double figures, however. Demarion Van Kelly was close, as long as Jemison Marquez, he was close as well, but all his points came from the free throw line. Van Kelly was 3 of 8 shooting from the field, had 2 rebounds. He finished with 7. Marquez, 1 of 1 from behind the arc, and he finished with 7 after going 4 of 4 from the foul line. Once again, this was a round of 24 game. The winner plays Vincennes here. 9 p.m. Eastern time tip-off for that one. Let's just quickly see that here. So like I said, Northwest Florida State moves on, plays Vincennes. They are the only team that has not played a round of 16. And so, yeah. Now moving into day 3. Daytona State taking on Howard College. The 17-1 matchup, Howard being the top overall seed. Daytona State actually led at the break at 49-42. And this will be a common occurrence for the teams that had a bye. Spoiler alert. But it traditionally is. At the same time, if you're familiar with Hutch, the teams that get a bye normally start off a little bit slow in the first half. They have to feel each other out. And then they'll step it up in the second half. And that is exactly what Howard did, showing why they are the number 1 seed, as they held the Falcons to only 26 points in the second half after giving up 49 in the first, while scoring 54 points themselves, getting to that 21-point victory. For Daytona State, they were 26 of 63 shooting from the field, while Howard was on fire, 36 of 63. Howard, 7 of 18 from behind the arc. Daytona State netted 15 threes, but they took 44 threes to get there. Free throw-wise, Howard had the advantage at 17 for 21 compared to 8 of 15. Rebounding-wise, almost doubling up the Falcons, 42-28 there, having 12 turnovers to 14 turnovers, winning that battle, and capitalizing off those 14 turnovers, turning them into 19 points for the Hawks. Again, like we saw with Northwest Florida State, the Hawks dominated the paint 52-18. Fast break points, yeah, they won that category as well. Bench points, the Falcons won. The Falcons, like I said, they led most of this first half. They led by as many as 14, but the Hawks came back, whittled it down, took control, and led by 21. That was the final score. We had no ties, but 3 lead changes in this ball game. For Daytona State, they finish off an incredible season with 4 players in double figures. Noah Mendy, who was 3 of 10 shooting from the field, 1 of 6 from behind the arc, having 5 rebounds, 5 assists, and a steal. He finished with 10. Janelle De Los Santos was 4 of 13 shooting from the field, 3 of 10 from behind the arc. He had 3 assists to go along with 3 rebounds. He finished with 11. Adrian Shackleton was 4 of 7 shooting from the field, all from behind the arc, as he also grabbed 2 rebounds. He finished with 13. Tyrese Lacey was 7 of 12 shooting from the field, 3 of 6 from behind the arc. He had 5 assists, 1 steal, 4 rebounds. He finished with 17 for the Falcons. Off the bench, CJ Hall in double figures, 5 of 8 shooting, 2 of 5 from behind the arc. He had 3 rebounds and 2 assists and a steal. He finished with 12, like I said. For Howard, they had 4 players in double figures, led by Terry Copeland, who was 13 of 18 shooting from the field, all in the 2-point area, as well as 5 of 6 from the foul line. He had 11 rebounds and 2 assists for a team-high 31 points. Brandon Ivory was 9 of 16 shooting from the field, 3 of 7 from behind the arc, had 8 rebounds, 4 assists, and a steal. He finished with 21. Dace Pleasant was 4 of 7 from the field, 3 of 5 from behind the arc. He grabbed all of his rebounds on the defensive glass, had 2 assists to go along with 3 steals. He finished with 15. And Kwai Dang, he was 4 of 8 shooting from the field, 5 of 6 from the foul line, had 8 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal. He finished with 13. Elijah Teshbangu, who was 3 of 4 shooting from the field, almost in double figures. He also netted a 3. He had 6 rebounds and 2 assists. Once again, Kwai Dang was the only player to get a technical foul on this game. But again, Howard able to withstand Daytona State and advance to the round of 8, as you see here. Yes, you see who they're already playing. So we'll get to that game. We will. So yeah, that is the Howard versus Daytona State game. The next game on the docket yesterday was New Mexico versus the College of Southern Idaho. This is the only game that kind of ran chalky, I'll say. College of Southern Idaho led from opening tip, led by as many as 11 at the half, and then New Mexico made a run of it. They cut the lead. They won the second half by 4, just not enough, to 7 points where CSI advances. Again, this one was pretty well in hand for the College of Southern Idaho and the Golden Eagles. They were 22 of 57 from the field, while the Thunderbirds were 21 of 61. New Mexico netted 9 threes compared to College of Southern Idaho's 11. Free throw-wise, 18 of 24 compared to 15 of 21. Pretty even there. College of Southern Idaho won the rebounding battle 41-39. However, they lost the turnover battle 13-12. And New Mexico was able to turn those 13 turnovers into 20 points, while CSI only netted 13 points off turnovers. Points in the paint evened up. Second chance points pretty much even. And the bench scoring really in favor of the Thunderbirds. Like I said, the Thunderbirds actually led in this game a couple of times, led by as many as 3. College of Southern Idaho led by as many as 16. We had 4 ties, 3 lead changes in this game. But again, pretty chalky to be said, because College of Southern Idaho, again, they did not fall into that first half trap, I'll say. For New Mexico, only 1 player in double figures that started. They had a player come off the bench. That was Michael Mackey off the bench, 4 of 6 from the field, all from behind the arc. He had 4 rebounds as well as 3 steals. He finished with 13 points. RJ Nance was 7 of 17 shooting from the field, 2 of 6 from behind the arc, 7 of 8 from the foul line. He had 3 rebounds, 3 assists, a steal. He finished with 23. So, yeah, only 2 players in double figures for New Mexico. And that really showed again. Again, the bench scored a lot, but it was mostly Mackey here. Garrison Phelps was 2 of 7 from the field, 5 of 6 from the foul line. Had 5 rebounds and 2 assists. He finished with 9. The College of Southern Idaho had 2 players in double figures, both 20-plus points. Ace Reiser was 9 of 14 shooting from the field, 6 of 9 from behind the arc. He had 28 points, grabbed 7 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 steals, while his guard counterpart, Jalen Lynn, was 6 of 17 shooting from the field, 10 of 13 from the foul line, grabbing 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 steals. Again, finishing with 23. Nobody else even close in double figures. Ben Thornbrew was kind of close with 7. He finished 2 of 6 from the field, having 13 rebounds and an assist. So again, College of Southern Idaho advancing to the round of 8. and being able to enjoy today. They had a day off, so able to enjoy today as they prepared for their opponent. This game was very, very interesting and went into overtime. Um, Again, getting this kind of set up here. Not quite ready, but surely. Nope. Okay, then. Monroe versus Trinity Valley. The Mustangs of New Rochelle are moving into Division 2 at the end of their tournament run, which happened last night. But boy, did the Mustangs make it a game. They trailed by 11 at the break. They took control in the second half, led by 6. Had opportunities. They just fell short at the foul line. Trinity Valley comes back, ties it at the last second. Monroe, not wanting their NJCAA careers to end, had a chance to win it. And then goes to overtime. Monroe with them the whole way, but just too much as the defending national champions advance to the round of 8. So again, Monroe will jump to Division 2 in CAA, while Trinity Valley looks to repeat. The Cardinals of Trinity Valley were 31 of 65 compared to Monroe's 22 of 71. Monroe stayed in this ballgame purely off of their three-point shooting prowess, netting 16 threes, although it took 41 attempts to get there, while Trinity Valley was 6 of 18 shooting. The free throws killed Monroe, even though as the game progressed, or as the game started, they shot really well from the foul line. Missing critical free throws late will do that to you. Trinity Valley won the rebounding battle 48-34. They also lost the turnover battle 16-12. Monroe was able to turn those 16 turnovers into 17 points, while Trinity Valley turned those 12 turnovers into 12 points. However, it was the points in the paint. Again, we see this a lot with these teams. The team who is able to control the paint normally wins, 40-8 in that aspect. The bench points led by the Mustangs of New Rochelle, 29-16. We had 4 ties, 9 lead changes in this ballgame. For Monroe, again, they end their NJCAA here, while Nasir Kirksey was 6 of 27 shooting from the field. All 6 of his shots were from behind the arc. He had 7 rebounds, 4 assists, and 4 steals. He finished with 19. Fakir Mosley was 3 of 7 shooting from the field, 2 of 3 from behind the arc. Had 3 assists, 3 rebounds, 3 steals. He finished with 10. Nico Pena was 3 of 8 shooting from the field, finishing with 10 points. Had 4 rebounds, an assist, and a steal. He was 2 of 6 from behind the arc. Off the bench, Tavian Tyler was 6 of 9 shooting from the field, 4 of 7 from behind the arc. Had 17 points, had a rebound, 2 assists, 2 steals. For Trinity Valley, they were led in scoring with 4 players in double figures, starter-wise, and 1 off the bench. Najee Graham off the bench, 4 of 6 shooting from the field, finishing with 10. 8 rebounds and 1 assist. For the starters, it was Brelin Wagner, who was 4 of 12 shooting from the field, having 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 1 block shot. He finished with 12, like I said. Then it was Armani Henderson, who was 7 of 11 shooting from the field. 9 rebounds, 6 of them being defensive, 3 offensive. 7 assists, 2 steals. He finished with 15. NJ Wardlow was 5 of 13 shooting from the field, 2 of 5 from behind the arc. Had 5 rebounds, 5 assists, and a steal. He finished with 16. Zati Lubaki was 8 of 13 shooting from the field. Had 3 rebounds and assist. He finished with 18 points. For the defending national champions, they had their scare at the sports arena. They advance. And for Monroe, hopefully some of those sophomores can transfer into that 4-year program. So the coaching staff doesn't have to rebuild completely. While I'll wonder what the freshmen have to do. Obviously, they'll have to find a new program, but I do think that there's a program in the Bronx under Monroe University, so I don't know if that will transfer over or not. So, going to the lone upset of the evening, the last game last night, Indian Hills versus Gulf Coast State. And the Panhandle showed why they got 4 teams in the tournament. As Gulf Coast State led this one 41-35 at the break. And Indian Hills was able to... This score is misleading. Gulf Coast State was up by 5. Indian Hills hit a buzzer beater 3 to make it 70. So they only really outscored Gulf Coast by 1 in the second half. Team stats: Gulf Coast, the Commodores of Gulf Coast, were 23 of 64, 9 of 33 from behind the arc, while the Warriors of Indian Hills were 29 of 56 and 7 of 20 from behind the arc. Gulf Coast State 17 of 19 from the foul line, while Indian Hills only shot 9 free throws. Yeah, that's going to do it for you. 36 rebounds compared to 32. Only had 9 turnovers compared to Indian Hills 15. And they converted those 15 turnovers into 14 points. The only time points in the paint, who were dominated by the Warriors, were not enough to pull out the victory. Largest lead were 12 compared to 4 for the Hills. We had 8 ties, 5 lead changes in this game. And it was a good game to end night 3 on. For Gulf Coast State, they were led by Devontae Cobbs, 6 of 13 shooting from the field, 3 of 7 from behind the arc, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, and 1 block shot. He finished with 17. Trent Lincoln was 5 of 14 from the field, 5 of 5 from the foul line, had 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals, and 16 points. Jabari Quarterman was 3 of 8 shooting from the field, 3 of 5 from from the foul line, had 3 steals, 1 block, and 2 assists. And again, if you're typing in chat, I'll say this. I apologize for not reading it. I'll get to it once we get once I do the 3 games that are still left to go over. I'll check on it and we'll talk about it there. Although I do see nothing there. And that's only because I am running off of a 1-monitor system. So, Quarterman, Lincoln, okay, I got everybody. Off the bench, it was Trevion Koch, I'm guessing 3 of 8 shooting from the field, 3 of 3 from the foul line, having 3 rebounds, 10 points for Gulf Coast State. And again, Indian Hills. The Hills. And again, when I did my reaction to the bracket, I thought Indian Hills were overseeded. As the 3 seed, they were the 3 seed last year, and they lost in their second round matchup against Vincennes. So yeah, it was interesting. Or no, they lost in their first game last year to Vincennes. Right? Let me check real quick. Oops, not that. The 24-25 NJCAA tournament. Yes, we see this last year. Yeah, they were the 3 seed last year. They lost in the same exact spot last year. Vincennes beat them last year off of that 3 Rivers this year. So, interesting. Interesting to see the same outcome happened. And again, you see, this is why I was talking about it in the when the bracket was released. Vincennes didn't just beat them. They whooped them. 85-71. Interesting. So anyway, for the Hills, they were led in scoring by Chaz Watson, 8 of 16 shooting from the field, 4 of 11 from behind the arc, had 6 rebounds, 1 steal, and 20 points. Taj Aduke was 7 of 13 shooting from the field, 3 of 3 from behind the arc, had 8 assists, 5 rebounds, 2 steals, and finished with 17. KJ Lamont was 6 of 10 shooting from the field, 3 rebounds and an assist. He finished with 13. And Chang Ring was 6 of 9 shooting from the field. He finished with 12, had 10 rebounds, 6 of them being defensively, had 2 steals and 2 block shots. Off the bench, they had no scoring whatsoever. Xavier Wilson, 1 of 2 shooting from the field and 4 of 4 from the foul line, had 5 rebounds and 4 assists. He finished with 6. And again, buzzer beater 3 led that to be 70 instead of the 67 that it should have been, really. And again, so yeah, just interesting as we see the play-by-play here. Yeah, let's go all the way down to it, because let's see, timeout. Yeah, Taj Aduke hit it right at the buzzer as Gulf Coast State salted it away at the free throw line. So, interesting way to end day 3. And now, Gulf Coast State has 2 games under their belt at Hutch. Day 4 today started with an amazing game, and Butler, representing the Jayhawk Conference, they hold home turf, beating Snow, the number 1 team at the end of the regular season, 101-96. Butler led at the half, 48-47, and expanded that 53-49 in the second half. Team-wise, oh my goodness. Butler 40 of 96 from the field. Snow 33 of 72. Snow was 7 of 22 from behind the arc, while Butler was 13 of 52. Snow 23 of 33 from the foul line, 8 of 15 for the Grizzlies. Rebounding-wise, pretty much even. Turnover battle, yeah, I would assume if we are getting 168 shots up, that no defense was being played, and if it was a turnover festival. 51 total turnovers, Snow with 30 of them, compared to 21 for Butler. Points off turnovers, 29-23. Points in the paint, 50-46. Bench points, this is where Butler separated themselves. We had 3 ties, 2 lead changes in this ball game, as Snow's run for Natty ends in the round of 16. They were led in scoring by, I just want to see, nobody. I would assume that is crazy stats regardless. McCaden Adams led the way, 7 of 15 shooting from the field, 10 of 10 from the foul line, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 steals, 26 points. For Snow, also Brock McClure was 7 of 15 shooting from the field, 14 rebounds, 17 points. He had 5 offensive rebounds as well. Sean Feltz, 7 of 10 shooting from the field, 5 rebounds, 2 block shots, and he finished with 15. While Sam Solovich was 3 of 9 shooting from the field, had 3 assists, 2 steals, and 2 rebounds. He finished with 10. Off the bench, it was Max Toombs, who was 4 of 7 shooting from the field, had 15 points, had 6 turnovers, 2 steals, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists. For Butler, 2 players in double figures off the starters. It was Tristan Hawkins, 8 of 18 shooting from the field, had 11 rebounds, 5 assists, 4 steals, and a block shot. While Jace Combs, it was 7 of 17 shooting from the field, having 9 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 steals, and a block shot as well. Both finished with 21 points. Off the bench, it was Xavier Brown, 6 of 14 shooting from the field, having 16 points, 2 rebounds, and an assist as well. Amari Jones picked up a technical foul in this ball game. And again, just 168 shots. That is a track meet and a half for this ball game, but Butler does advance. As we see here, yeah, they advance. They'll take on Howard in that one. So, very interesting. Let's see if this game's ready for a preview. And this is the last game of the day, and I'll talk about them in a little bit. But, yeah, so, once again, holy crap. For them to be able to pick up a win like that, that is huge. Let's go ahead and get to I'm just getting to the Vincent's scorebook here if I can. Softball. Oh, Hutch. There we go. I'll pull up the live stats as we get ready for this game. Second game had Midland taking on Walter State, and another team with a bye goes down. Walter State led by 8 at the break and was able to expand it more in the second half. And I mean 41-41 for Midland. Team out of Texas falls to a team from Tennessee. Walter State playing their second game at Hutch this year. 28 of 59 shooting from the field. 30 of 73 for Midland. 13 of 24 from behind the arc compared to 7 of 23. Free throw wise, 26 of 32 compared to 15 of 24. Rebounding wise, Walter State won that battle 45-37. Also had 22 assists and 19 turnovers. Midland was able to convert those 19 turnovers into 26 points, however. Points in the paint, Midland won this one 40-28. Fast break, though. Walter State likes to run, and they were able to do so. We had 3 ties, 9 league changes in this ball game. Walter State was led in scoring by Jamar Livingston, who was 5 of 11 shooting from the field, 4 of 7 from behind the arc. Had 5 rebounds, 3 assists, finished with 19. While Taquez Butler was 5 of 11 shooting from the field, 4 of 8 from behind the arc. Had 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 6 steals. And he finished with 17. But off the bench for Walter State, Carter Webb, 4 of 7 shooting from the field, 4 of 6 from behind the arc. 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals. He finished with 17. Brian Carter, 3 of 7 from the field, 6 of 6 from the foul line. Had 10 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, 1 block shot. He finished with 12. For Midland, they fall. But they had all 5 stars in double figures. Antone Bo Hearns, 8 of 16 shooting from the field, 3 of 6 from behind the arc. Had 3 assists, 3 rebounds, 2 steals, 2 block shots, and finished with 22. Darius Carr and Caden Reed finished with 12 points apiece. Carr was 5 of 16 shooting from the field, while Reed was 5 of 9. Reed had 4 rebounds, 5 assists, 4 steals, while Carr had 1, 1, and 2 in those respective categories. Finally, Yazan Liberto was 5 of 11 shooting from the field, had 3 offensive rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, 1 block shot, and 10 points. No bench scoring whatsoever, hardly for Midland, however. And again, that was the biggest difference. Walter State able to continue their march in Hutch, with a huge win over the 7th seed Midland College. And we'll get to that in a minute. And the game that finished up right before the Vincennes Northwest Florida State game tipped off. Northern Oklahoma Enid continues to march on. The highest seed still in the tournament. The Jets upset the Indians of Chipola College 64-50 in a very, very defensive game. Total, and as we see, it was very low scoring compared to all the other games we've seen today. Oh my goodness. 33-23 at the break, and then 31-27 to end the contest. For NOC-Enid, they were 21-61 compared to 19 of 56 from the field. 9 of 29 from behind the arc compared to 3 of 17 for the Indians. The Indians shot 50% from the free throw wise, while the Jets were 13 of 14. Also forcing 17 turnovers and but losing the rebounding battle 44-35. So that's interesting. Bench points essentially non-existent for both teams. Points in the paint. Again, a rarity that we see the points in the paint winner in really domination not pull out the victory here. For Chipola, they were led in scoring by Desmond Kent Jr., who was 4 of 12 from the field, 2 of 5 from behind the arc, had 6 rebounds, 1 assist. He finished with 12. Aaron Richards was 5 of 7 from the field, had 9 rebounds, while Hendris Bertles was 5 of 12 with 11 rebounds. Jan Kuaku Amfley was 2 of 4 from the field as well, finishing with 5 points for Kuaku Amfley. Bartless was 5 of 12 shooting from the field, had 11 rebounds, finished with 10. And Richard was 5 of 7, 9 rebounds, and finished with 11. But that was all the scoring for Chipola. For NOC-Enid, they were led by Darian Grant, who had 17 points. Gavin Baird had 13. Dontrell Yerby with 11. Grant was 6-10 shooting from the field, 3 of 6 from behind the arc, 7 rebounds, and like I said, finished with 17. Bernard, 3 of 9 shooting from the field, but 7 of 8 from the foul line, had 6 rebounds, 8 assists, and finished with 13. Yerby, 3 of 8 from behind the arc, out of his 4 of 9 shooting, had 4 assists, finished with 11. Riley Shore was close in double figures. He finished with 9 off of a 4 of 11 shooting performance and had 4 rebounds and 9 points. Let me see. Henri Stewart had 8 points off of 3 of 6 shooting, 2 of 4 from behind the arc. So again, NOC-Enid able to continue their march to Hutch. So a couple of upsets here. Like I said, Walters State, the biggest one. NOC-Enid still the highest seed, still left in the tournament, but they knocked off a couple of Blue Bloods in South Plains and Chipola. I said this was going to be an extremely hard part of the bracket to get through. And NOC-Enid is one battle against the national champions away from doing just that. On this side, we have a couple of upsets in Gulf Coast State and Walters State, beating number 3 Indian Hills and number 7 Midland. CSI was able to handle New Mexico in their matchup. So let's go ahead and look at this. Yep. 16:46 left to go in the first half. 9-6 in favor of Northwest Florida State. So far, Jalen Callaway is the only player with points on the floor for the Trailblazers, while Jonas Nichols has 8 points already. for the Raiders. And now it's 9-8. Okay. Starters, and as you see, 4-5 for the Trailblazers, 2-6 for Northwest Florida State. However, they're already shooting free throws 4-5 at the foul line. 1-4 from behind the arc. 1 turnover to 0. 4 rebounds to 2. Everything else looks pretty okay so far. Jalen Calloway and Dayton Williams leading the way for the Trailblazers, each with 4. Well, like I said, Jonas Nichols, 2 of 2, 1 of 1 from behind the arc, and 3 of 3 from the foul line. He has 8 points, while Dorman is the only other one scoring for Northwest Florida State, as Nichols just missed a 3-pointer. So, interesting. 2 team fouls already on Vincennes. And one's on Elijah Lovemore and Lorenzo Malinini. But with 15:05, Vincennes takes the first lead for them. Once again, very interesting to see what's going on. So like I said, that has been pretty much the stream. Another missed shot for Northwest Florida State. Yeah, that's again, I'm just checking, seeing if I have any chatters at the moment. Again, I apologize for screwing up the first attempt of this yesterday. I will say I'm having a lot of fun doing these streams because I'm able to make sure that I'm able to get things out at a decent time, as we are getting close to the end of the NJCAA season. But yeah, if that's everybody copacetic, I was able to do a lot in the 40 minutes that I've been talking. Now I am going to sit back and watch probably a little bit of this Vincennes game, as we are at the first media timeout. Dre Vassar, I believe, will be shooting, as Demarion Van Kelly committed a foul under the 16-minute mark. So, yeah, that is going to be... let's just see. We're at a commercial. We'll see what just happened here. Hopefully. Go back 10 seconds. Yeah. Vassar. Yeah, he'll be shooting free throws. That is going to do it for me. And I will see you guys tomorrow night as I recap the first, or the Elite Eight. Until then, I will see you next time. Peace.